okay, what drives performance on all levels, but especially at these most raw levels? Like, who are we at our most raw? And what are those things about human beings in particular that drive performance in different domains? Because it matters, and obviously only 15% of us made it through. Other guys did not, but those other guys who didn't make it through, they're excelling in other facets of life. They just didn't happen to excel on the beaches of Coronado. So that was really the impetus. And of course, I think as I went through my career and continued to do pretty interesting things and continue to be part of more and more specialized activities, that kind of imposter syndrome stayed with me, a healthy imposter syndrome. The kind of that question is like, man, these people around me are so much better than me. Why am I here? How am I here? It upped my game, of course, but it really allowed me to start thinking about and diving deep into this stuff. And I think so that would probably be the best way to define that maturation.
There's that idea of like never judging a book by its cover, and I guess you couldn't help it yourself. If you're looking around the other guys at Buds, some really big, very athletic people, you might be instinctively thinking that these guys are going to absolutely crush it.
Yeah.
But as I've heard from other SEALs and things before, they're often some of the first to tap when it gets tough.
Yeah, most don't, and it's funny. Almost everyone who's made it will say that none of us would put money on any candidate starting SEAL training. Even those of us who've been in the community for a while, the odds are not they're against you. And there are people who you could look at and you'd say, well, I would assume that person would make it, but none of us would put money on, especially 100%. It's just you can't tell. It's all very internal. Yeah. But it's really all about who we are at our most raw and what are those attributes and qualities that need to be predominant to perform and succeed in that discipline, in that domain, because that domain is very specific and there are other domains. I always kind of say we're all rock stars in certain domains, we're all doofuses in other domains of life, right? It just depends on picking the right one, so you can be a rock star.